Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Makers Demo Day. My name's Owen, and I'm a technical coach and pod lead here at Makers. We're here this evening to showcase the incredible final projects developed by our March 2022 cohort. So each of the two teams here tonight will present what they've been working on just over the past 2 weeks. Afterwards, if you are interested in learning more about studying at Makers, what it's like here, stick around for a Q&A with myself and Haley if you're interested, and you can ask questions you'd like. But back to the main stars of this evening, which is the March cohort. So many of you that have come this evening, you'll already have some context on what Makers Academy is. So it's a 16-week intensive coding bootcamp. Intensive probably only begins to describe it, which these devs can attest to. And over the course of their time here, developers go from knowing some coding basics to being able to build a full stack application from scratch. Just a few months ago, these devs that you're going to see tonight, they were enjoying their first week here. They were getting to grips with things like test driving, pair programming, using Ruby classes for the very first time. And over the last 2 weeks, they've been building and deploying whole projects to create the products that they would actually like to use as customers, which is pretty amazing. The whole cohort has made amazing progress over the last 16 weeks. Every week, learners are presented with new topics, new challenges. They kind of might see them and feel, how am I going to do this in just 1 week? And they find their way forward. So to do this, they have to build up a resilience and a confidence in their ability to break down these challenges into smaller challenges and to kind of find a way through them step by step. And this cohort has definitely rose to this challenge together. You all set out to learn a lot of things that were brand new over the last 10 days. Not only the tech stacks you've been working with, but the kinds of topics you've been investigating, let alone working together in this kind of an engineering team that's so akin to an actual development team that you're going to be with in your first role. So the projects that you're going to see here this evening, the ideas, the research, the execution, it's been entirely crafted from scratch from each team. So they picked up brand new stacks, new frameworks, and they brought their ideas into reality. So they've had to utilize every developer process they picked up in these last 16 weeks. And before that, all of the kind of experiences they brought from their own careers before that to break these problems down and to find a way forward. So I'm really excited for all of you. I think you've done amazing projects to be super proud of. And yeah, that's it really. So without further delay, I'd love to introduce the first team to present this evening, and that is EdUp. So over to you, EdUp, whenever you're ready.
Welcome everyone to Team EdUp's presentation. So the vision which we started with was to make connections easy between schools and parents. So I would like to introduce the team, the people who worked on this project. Connor?
Yeah, I'm Connor. My background is project management. However, I've always had an interest in coding, and with Makers, I've finally been able to pursue that.
So my name is Baljit. So I've been working as a head of delivery for one of the government departments. So it's more like agile delivery management, but I wanted to be more hands-on, more technically capable. So that's why I went through this 4-month program. Joe?
Hi, my name's Joe. So I studied astrophysics at university. And after working in retail for a couple of years afterwards as well, I wanted to do something a lot more technical. So I discovered Makers after getting into coding about a year ago now. And yeah, really glad I made the decision and happy to go forward with it.
Hi, my name's Jordan. I'm an Aussie living in London. I come from a sales background, so I haven't had any coding experience, but I just fell in love with coding, and that's what made me join this course.
Hey, I'm Michael. I studied maths at university. I've been working for my family business for the last few years, but decided to get into coding, and I thought Makers was a great choice to join.
So now Joe will go through the ways of working, the way we worked as a team together. Joe?
Yeah, so we wanted to follow an agile style of working throughout this project. So essentially it allows us to be a lot more flexible, and especially if we had any specific blockers where we really got stuck, it allowed us to work on other features at the same time. So it really didn't stagnate the progress. And so we were able to really be quite productive through this. And so this has also really helped, we helped achieve this by having team meetings every day. So in the mornings, lunchtime, and then towards the end of the day around early evening. We discussed where we were basically at, discussed like what features we need to work on next. And so then we worked in pairs each day for about 7 or 8 hours from these team meetings. And so the communication throughout the team was brilliant throughout the whole process. And that was one of the main things we had, was that we wanted to make sure we had fun with this and trust each other. And I feel like the agile way of working, we did this as well. So yeah, it really helped us be productive and make this project.
So now it's time to see the thing which you have been waiting to see. So now we will show you the product. So let me go to the product page. So this is our product. You can see our admin, a school admin, logging into the project. So that's how they will log into the product. And once they go in, they will land on this page, which is a school notice board. On the menu bar, you can see various features available. So one of the features we're going to show you is how our parent is created on a system. So we don't want it to be available to anyone to just come and sign in. It's a school system. You want only the parents who want to be there to be signed up. So that's how you add a parent into a system. And once it's done, the admin is able to send these details via email or via letter to the parent. And you can see as soon as we created the parent, it shows the message that the parent has been created. So once we do that, now it's a parent logging in using the same URL, same page, they can log in, but the things they will see will be quite different from admin. So once they log in, they will come to notice board, but it looks a bit different. There are less functionalities. The menu bar looks smaller because there are less features available. But one thing we would recommend all the parents to do when they sign up is that you should change your password in the first time you do it. So this is a page where you can come and change your password and you get a message saying that your password has been updated.
And then as we saw a little bit earlier, we have our school notice board. So it's really important for admin users to add and delete new notices in order to show any important information to all the users on the website. So by clicking the button on the previous page, we can create a new notice, and each notice has a title and a description. And then by clicking the submit button, it will bring us pop-up up here so that it notifies you that the notice has been created. And we wanted to keep on this page rather than redirecting to the notice board so that admin users can add as many notices as they want at one given time. So we'll click the submit again in a minute. And we wanted to also add the delete function in because obviously old notices which aren't serve a purpose anymore, obviously will clog up the notice board. So back to the notice board here, we can see the 2 new recent notices have been added on there with their dates. And as you can see on the right-hand side of each notice is the delete button as well. And then up next, we have our QR code generator. So this is specific for events. We can type in the name of our event here, click generate, and then the admin user can download this QR code. And this would be useful to send out to parents through emails. So if there's any events going on at the school, such as school fairs or sports day, for example, the parents can turn up to the event and scan this QR code on entry. And so I'll now hand over to Michael.
Thank you, Joe. So next up is our calendar. So on the side, we have a filtering system. So by clicking these labels, we're able to only show events that have the same label. And then so we can just check a few of them. And then when we click show all events, it'll go back to showing all the events. And then just above that, we have a small calendar where we can select the day. And as an admin, we can use the create button in order to create an event. So we modeled this based on modern calendar applications. So we have a title field where we can enter the title, the date is shown in the middle, and we can also add a description that describes the event. And then we can assign it to a label that we feel best matches the event, in this case, sport. And then when we click save, it will show up on the calendar. So titles that are a bit too long will automatically be shortened. And then when we click the title at the event, it will show the full title and description. And there will also be a delete button as if you're an admin. So the only difference between an admin and a parent is that admins can create events and delete events. And then we can also navigate to future months to create events for the future. And we can also go backwards and check events that were in the past. And then just by clicking today, it'll take us back to the current date. And then we can also do the same function on the small calendar at the side. And then when we click today, it'll bring us back to today. So now I'll pass it on to Jordan.
Thanks, Michael. So this is our payment portal. So as an admin, you can add an invoice for a parent just by selecting their name from the drop-down list. So you type in the invoice title and the amount in pounds. Once you click submit, that invoice will be automatically added to the parent's account. So if we go over to the parent side, so just here, so if we click on the payment portal for the parent, we'll be able to see here a list of all of the invoices this parent has owing. So you can see all of the individual invoices here. Here's the hockey stick account that we've just created. So if you click on checkout, that will take you to our payment page. So here you can see this is the hockey stick. So here you're able to pay using Google Pay, or you can enter in your details manually like we're doing here. So our payment portal is a feature that I'm really proud of. It allows parents to pay for everything in the one place. So they can pay for things like school lunches, trips, sports clubs, and things like that. So once all of the details are entered and you click pay down the bottom, if your payment is successful, you'll get the little green tick. So just like that, and then that will take you to our success page, which will just say thank you for your payment. If your payment was successful, you'll also get confirmation via a WhatsApp message, just to say thank you for your payment as well. So if we go back to our payment portal, you'll notice that the payment that we've just paid is now gone. You also have the option to pay all of your outstanding payments at once. So you can see here, this is for all of the payments, and you would just check out as we did earlier. So I'll pass over to Connor.
Thank you. So for our final feature, we have a chat system. And as you can see from the drop-down menu, it allows parents to select different chat rooms to speak to the appropriate member of staff. This feature was influenced by a real system that Bal uses for his family, except we've improved it. We've made it a live chat system. As you can see on the right-hand side, the list of users are updated as people join and leave. We also have an admin within the chat that also makes these announcements. As you can see, we've got an example of a few users communicating with each message tagged with the username of each account. And I'll pass you on to Bal to conclude the presentation.
So the next thing is about the challenges which we face. So these are the things which made us strong as a team. The first one was learning a new language called React. So none of us knew anything about React, but we know it can do wonders. So we wanted to learn it. And that's what we did. We learned it at very fast pace. We used the system makers have told us to learn a new language, which was quite good. And another unique challenge we got, and bang in the middle of our project, we had bank holidays, so Jubilee bank holidays. So it was 4 days which were not available to work. So we have to plan our work according to those. We have to plan so much that how we can do the things which we plan to do, but still manage the bank holidays. And the third thing was login. We thought, when we started the project, we thought logging into a system won't be that difficult. We will be able to create this feature, but it created its own challenges, especially using React and JavaScript. So we spent a lot of time on that. We use a third-party software called Passport as well to help us with this. And when we did that, deploying it on the live site was a challenge as well. Everything which you saw right now is live, is available for you to play around with. So what we've done is we put a QR code for you to scan it if you want to scan and check the site. There is a link here as well if you want to type in the link. And this is an account which we created for you to play around with. As I said, the system is secure. We don't want anyone to come in and sign up. So these are the details available for you to play around with. And thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Adap. Looks like you already have your first investor in the chat, but in all seriousness, don't click that. Amazing work. You brought together so many different requirements into one cohesive place. It really feels like something that when you start using it, you wonder, how did I manage before I had this? So yeah, I think you've done some brilliant work here. It's really cool to see it deployed and ready for people to play around with as well. That's a really nice touch. Well done. Congratulations. You have so much to be proud of here. On to our second and final project team of the afternoon, and changing topics towards nature. I'll now hand over to Seedle. So whenever you're ready, go for
it. Bear with me one moment. There we go. Okay, yeah, welcome to Seedle. Seedle is a local species explorer. You can either enter your postcode or use your live location to learn about plants and birds near you. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to play a demo and I'll play that now.
So this is our Seedle website, which starts with an input form and some links to our GitHub repository, the maker's website, and also our API source. The first thing I'm going to do is select the current location button to view my local birds, flora and fauna. As you can see, the results have appeared underneath, along with a message to confirm my search details. The front of these cards give us information such as the common and Latin names, and an API pulls in the images as well. And once you hover over these cards, you can see how many sightings there have been. This is live data, so this will constantly update. There's also a short description, and if you press the read more button, this will take you to a wiki page and you can read that in your own time. We can then go down to the button in the corner to go right back up to the top of the page. We're going to try a postcode that is in a different area, along with a different area size. And when I search this, different results will come up in that area, along with a message saying that it's showing results around there too. Despite the code working hard in the background, we managed to achieve our aim to create a user-friendly interface with a simple but informative style.
Okay, so I'm going to pass over to David now just to discuss our tech stack and our processes.
Okay, thanks, Coral. Our stack included React, Node.js, NodeMon, Jest and Cypress for testing, and Heroku for deployment. We used Excalibur for domain modeling and MVP, Trello for monitoring the stage of each feature as they're implemented, and Slack for pair and group programming. Regular check-ins and information sharing. We followed an agile team methodology based on the principles of our team charter. We used 2-day sprints to work through our tasks. Pair programming was on constant rotation between these sprints. We also had morning stand-ups, check-ins before and after lunch to share our progress and how we were feeling, with afternoon retros to reflect on the day. We also made sure to keep in touch throughout the day and help each other whenever needed. Okay, back to you, Coral.
Thanks. So on to challenges we faced. So we originally used Discord since the voice chats are easy to hop in and out of. However, since there were some technical issues, we decided to move to Slack. Everyone having an input during discussions was our priority, and Monica's PC hated Discord, so that wasn't going to happen. And behind the hood, we had to have multiple APIs interacting with each other, which took some serious problem solving to figure out. It also took us some time to learn how the APIs would work with React. Now, from the start, we wanted to learn something new. React seemed like the perfect candidate for what we envisioned for our MVP and beyond. Whilst there's still a lot to learn about this stack, we've proven that we can pick up new technologies quickly and effectively, in this case, in just 2 weeks. Right, back to David to wrap things up.
Okay, thank you. Our fantastic team was Rupert, Coral, Monica and myself. And though some of the team may have focused more on back end or front end, we jumped in and worked on all aspects of development. Communication, flexibility and learning have been our main focus throughout this project and making it a safe and fun environment to work in. It's brought us close together as a team and definitely achieved our aim of building a useful functioning app while enjoying the challenging learning process. Thanks for listening, and any questions, please feel free to ask.
Thank you so much, Seedle. I feel closer to nature just knowing that this website exists. It's really beautifully designed, and I felt like there's actually so much of a nice correlation between the beauty of like the imagery that your website returns, but the user interface you've also implemented, especially when there's so much complexity going on behind the scenes as well, that I know that you worked super hard on. So really well done. You have so much to be proud of here. And thank you to both of our teams tonight. So I'm really happy for all of you. You've achieved so much in such a short amount of time. Do kind of think about these challenges that you have pushed through, and like kind of embrace that and use it to fuel your belief that you can learn anything and like build anything too. So these blockers that you've worked through, they're going to send you a lot in your first developer roles and beyond. It's been super lovely working with you so far. Really excited to see what comes next for each of you. Do take the time to rest and relax this weekend. Again, to say that the last 16 weeks has been intensive for you, I think is the least we can say. So rest up. You'll be making your start on the next chapter with our careers team on Tuesday. And celebrate this evening, relax, and have a very restful weekend when the time comes. Cool. So now I'm going to hand back over to Hayley, and Hayley's going to host our Q&A for those of you who might be interested in attending Makers. So if you have any questions about the course, please do ask. You can hit the Q&A button and we'll chat. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Owen. And thank you to everyone in the cohort. Yeah, feel free to jump off now, go have a relax or have a drink or whatever you want to do. And for those of you staying with us, yeah, as Owen said, we're going to answer any questions that you might have if you're thinking of becoming a maker yourself and hopefully one day presenting one of these projects like our team have today. So in the kind of panel at the bottom below, there's the Q&A section. If you could put any questions that you have for us in there, we'll try to get through them, and yeah, just share any details that we can about Makers. We're also joined by Inej today. She can help with any questions about the kind of admissions process, what we look for from students, and hopefully Owen can field the technical questions because that's definitely not my area at all. So we'll give you a few minutes. If anyone's got any questions, please drop them in there. Inej, maybe as we're waiting for a couple to come in, what are the next cohort dates that people are going to be aiming for?
Yeah, so the next one is starting on Monday. We still have a couple of spaces left. So if anyone is going for a quick, who wants to start very quick,